We're back with Christina.
Take us through the foundations that you laid out in your book that a student needs to go through the process of getting scholarships.
Yeah, well, one of the biggest things is just to get motivated to actually apply for scholarships. Parents, if you're watching this right now, have those real conversations about money. Be willing to walk them through a budget. Be real about your finances and your expectations. If you don't have money to pay for college, that's not something to be ashamed about. I think a lot of parents feel bad or intimidated that there's not more savings, and so they don't have conversations, and then that can lead to students taking out student loans. But have those conversations and help them get motivated to apply for scholarships and look for debt-free options, because there's a bunch of different ways to go to school debt-free. Even if you don't win scholarships, there are a variety of options out there, like tuition assistance programs, going to community college free. A lot of states have free community college, and even if you don't have free community college, a lot of states have very low-cost options. So just get the wheels spinning on how to go debt-free. Take debt off the table and then go, okay, how are we going to pay for this? Let's look at all the options out there.
What types of money are available for college funding?
For college funding, so of course there's financial aid, the FAFSA. I know a lot of people kind of get nervous about the FAFSA and they're like, oh, I don't want to submit this application, but it can lead to so much money, even for people who make quite a bit of money. A lot of people think maybe I don't qualify, but I always encourage people to fill it out, because like a lot of times you can get free grant money and it's worth taking that shot to see if you qualify. And then of course scholarships, that was my bread and butter, and there are billions of scholarships given away every year for all sorts of reasons. So there are scholarships literally for who can create the best peanut butter sandwich recipe, for vacuuming, for being tall, for being short, and there's even one for having the best zombie apocalypse escape plan.
Okay,
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
And you won a major scholarship with Coca-Cola, didn't you?
I did, yeah. That was a very competitive one. I was very excited to win that. And it was nice because some of these competitive ones required a lot of essays, and students are often like, oh, essays.
Right, yeah.
But I always encourage students, once you fill out a few applications and you have some strong essays, you can recycle them for future applications. So the process actually gets easier over time. Like once you've filled out some great scholarship applications, you can reuse those materials and, just exponentially increase the number you apply for.
And you stated in your book that, a lot of objections students have, high schoolers have, is that I don't have the time to do this, I'm too busy. But if you look at it as a job and you say, I'm going to put away 1 to 1.5 hours a day, I'll put the phone down where I'm wasting that 1.5 hours, and I'll just fill out one scholarship at a time. And over the year, it accumulates. And that's how you did it, and that's what you teach, right?
Yeah, it adds up, and it's like, break it into small into small segments. I think a lot of students are like, I'm going to apply for 100 scholarships in the next week, and then they get overwhelmed. But it's like, just do one a day. Do one a day and see how that adds up over 6 months.
Are the same sources that you propose for undergraduate scholarships the same as you would pursue for graduate studies as well?
So graduate school is a little bit different. It's a little bit more competitive. There tends to be more scholarships for undergrad available, especially in the private world of scholarships. But there are still scholarships out there for grad school. A lot of times they're in the form of a fellowship. So it's important to look for that. And it's also just important to see, what kind of tuition assistance programs are available. Maybe you could work for a university, do a research fellowship, and explore what kind of different options are out there, both with scholarships and just alternative ways to go debt-free.
So let me ask you your opinion regarding this. I know that that students, high schoolers today, think that college is almost like a birthright because they need the college experience and they deserve it. And they're told even by counselors, go to college and you'll figure out what you have to do as you go on. Just go, it's the experience, it's a learning time. And that may all be true, but is college necessary to start with?
It's not necessary for everyone. And I love that right now there's a lot of conversation around that, where people for so long, they just assumed that college was a ticket to success. As long as you went to college, you'd be successful. And it didn't matter what degree, it didn't matter what you studied, like college for everybody. And now it's like people are being a lot more critical and they're thinking about it. And that's a really good thing. There are a lot of people who are going to trade school who are making 6 figures 2 years later. And we need tradesmen. We need people in different fields. So I think it's really important to really evaluate, what are your skills and is college the best way for you to go?
Well, we're coming up to the end of the interview, sadly, because we could go on all day. Right?
All day, all day.
But I want to ask you, is there anything that we haven't covered that you want to add? And also let us know where we can learn more about everything that you have to offer?
Yeah, I just encourage people to get really intentional with their money around college. Have these conversations. Don't be intimidated by it. I know money can sometimes be a sticky subject and people get a little bit scared to have these conversations, but having these conversations can save you a lot of pain in the long run and really set you up to be strategic and find success. So you can find more information about me at ChristinaEllis.com, and that's Christina with a K. And you can follow me on Instagram at I am Christina Ellis.
What wonderful, wonderful,
amazing.
useful information.
Amazing.
I wish I would have had this 30 years ago,
Me too.
really.
You are a busy lady.
Well, it's been wonderful talking with you guys.
I wish that, my wish is that as many high school students and aspiring college attendees or people in high school going into the workforce can really hear your message and the message of the entire Ramsey Group, because the debt is killing people. And the lack of focus and the thought that you have to go to college to succeed is really a misdirection. So thank you for your direction, for all the work that you've done, and for sharing that.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for spreading the message. I appreciate it.
We'll be back with more Finding a Good Life after one final break.